Y'all thought I was dead? I'm on it. Came back on you instead. Karma. We ain't partners and we damn sure ain't friends. Raising hell till that's where you descend. You a damsel distressed, and I ain't Captain Save a Hole neither. It's the first the rent due. Pay is gon' leave her. Any questions? Save it for the teacher. Only thing that you should ask is what's to pay me for a feature. Maybe sign your t-shirt. You should do your research. Been standing on top so long, my feet hurt. If we freestyle, I'll run off with your threads. I got a fever, I'm hot off of the head. Shots over your head, want my props in my crib. My beat so big, you think Pac wasn't dead. Wanna harm me, then you'll need an army full of men. Don't think that I can take your Barbie, I can. Ropes of the bread, till my whole people fed. Then I skirt up in a Rari that's Soviet red.
And everybody, welcome to Brolific, the new podcast. With me today, I got my very special guest, Cory Armstrong. We're going to get right into it. Before we jump into it, I just got to get a shout out to a sponsor. Her name's Carly's Creatives. She makes custom ashtrays. She makes custom keychains. Anything. She made a custom ashtray for my last podcast, Party and Politics, right there. Very, very nice. You know, whether you're smoking some traditional, a cigar, maybe some homegrown, anything like that. And even for the album that I just released called Golden City. Shout out to Golden City. Okay. She just did this. This is an interactive ashtray, so you can actually scan that Spotify code and it'll start playing my album. So it's pretty dope. And yeah. We're gonna get cracking. So shout out to her. I'm gonna put her link in the bottom and do all that. Hold on, I gotta send someone. I just got a quick call, really quick. I just got to text this person.
Yeah, man. All right. Shout out to whoever put you on the ashtray, bro. That's sexy.
Yeah, no, that's dope. Carly's Creatives. I'm gonna put her link in the bio because she makes custom everything. She does it for the low. So shout out to her. But really, shout out to you, man. So you came on the podcast, man. We want to get cracking. So first off, man, let's give the people an introduction, who you are, what you do, what you're about. Let's let the people know.
So my name's, Cory Armstrong, aka Mr. Ripped AF, aka Ripped Ross, aka Buff, Bald, and Bearded.
Oh shit. We're doing it. And his name is literally Cory Armstrong, and his arms are literally strong. So I mean,
yeah, man. I've been hearing this. Well, you go to crazy things. So we didn't talk about what I do. So I'm an online fitness coach. I've been in the fitness industry coaching for 5 years now. Recently went from training in person and taking my whole business online within the past year. And so I coach internationally. It's something that I'm really passionate about, and I help a lot of people with their fitness goals. I'm fat loss specialist, help motherfuckers get muscle too, right? But here's the interesting thing, man. I don't even cut you off, my arms are strong now, right? It works with my name. It works with my name. When I was a kid, you know what they used to call me? Just take a guess.
What's that?
You probably guess it. It's something corny, but it was the thing that they used
Arms Weak.
Cory Arm Weak was my name.
All people are cruel, man.
Middle school and high school, man. Can you believe that?
People are cruel, man. I mean, hey,
disrespect.
You gotta go through your challenges, man.
Yeah, man.
But that's why I'm curious about. So when I met you, I'm thinking it was like 2017.
You were we met and all the all the stuff.
Yeah, we can get into that. There's some definitely fun stories. I don't know if that business is still in business, but I don't know. But we met at basically a call center sales kind of thing where the company essentially worked for multiple different telecommunication companies, and you were either selling Frontier Internet, Verizon Internet, I don't know, maybe Spectrum. There's a few different companies that you could end up doing sales for, but it was one basically third-party company, and you just cold calling, man, like in the movies and the TV shows. Hey, you pick up, I'm trying to make a sale. They ain't coming to you. They don't know you're about to call them, and you just got to hope, number one, they answer, and that you got to close this. I mean, this was probably one of the hardest sales jobs. I mean, I can tell you, I've worked for a car dealership. I've worked for inbound sales. I worked for different sales. People who got to cold call you with the stereotype and just how people feel about it. I mean, the fact that like people are selling anything, like I made a few sales, and those sales, like I worked so hard for, and I know you probably feel very similar about that.
Well, I was gonna say, man, I think it's interesting that you say that job was one of the hardest, because I felt like
in terms of sales, I've had some hard jobs. I just mean in like sales aspect of it. I don't mean in physical labor or something like that.
Right. We were sitting on our ass. We weren't doing
shit.
But even in that aspect, right? Because what a lot of people don't know about me, you know, because I'm a fitness guy now. But before this, I worked a lot of different sales jobs. And I gotta be honest, bro, that was the easiest one.
Wow. Okay.
That was the easiest one, bro. That was the easiest one because it was so we had our little base pay, right? Like we had the guaranteed money, and everything else was just like cushion on top of that, right? So really like not a lot of like you know, fear that, you know, you weren't gonna be able to take home enough to pay your bills, right? What I've had in my past is I've had like 100% commission, door-to-door sales. Like you walking into a business with a suit on, they know from a fact that you soliciting, and they just looking at you waiting to tell you to get the fuck out of here. Like I've had those jobs, and it was just like night and day, sitting on my ass and just calling 100 people and hey, you want this? No? All right, next one. That was way easier than like being out in the hot sun, knocking. In a full suit, sweating my ass off, walking into places where people don't know I'm coming or even want me there to ask if they want to buy some cell phone service from T-Mobile. Like that was the hardest.
Oh wow. That's what that would definitely, I haven't had a job really like that. But it's funny because one of my first jobs was doing door to door. Just all I had to do was hand out flyers. Like I didn't even have to sell anything. And these people would be mean about that, bro. Like people were like, don't give me it. Like people were bossing up on me about, I know you ain't about to give me that flyer. Like just say like, bro, like I was people yelling at me, chasing me down the street. You just left this garbage on my door. Like people, you know, so I can't imagine having to try to talk to somebody like that. So sales is a weird thing. I mean, my personality, I think your personality, everybody's got a different vibe, right? Me and you have that vibe where we just are social. We can connect with people. And I think that's why we both have that entrepreneurial spirit, you know, like we're just like, that's just our vibe. And I think sales definitely teaches you a lot of the fundamentals about business, marketing, advertising, how you approach people. So, you know, I don't have any negativity when I look back at that stuff. I'm glad that I've had all the lessons I've had. It's just, there's always characters in every company, and I'll just never forget. I mean, I got to tell the story because it's just so funny to me. Right. And I'm not going to say anybody's name because I don't want to ever throw anybody under the bus. But at that place that we worked at together, there was these weird, I didn't understand the management levels, but there was some hierarchy, and there was some kind of weird, shady vibes. It seemed like the higher up people were, the more shady some of those people were. I don't know. And there was the dude who was apparently like the top dog. He was like this really big dude. I know you know who I'm talking about. I think his license plate said like Big Daddy or something, something like that. Yeah. So this is this really big dude, and you know, you look at him, you think he's cool. He's got some Jordans on, like he's not really dressed professional. So you're like, maybe this dude's like laid back or whatever. But this dude was like Suge Knight of the industry, bro. This dude was like, came in there like he had that attitude, he had that vibe, like he was not playing games. And I'll never forget because it was becoming harder and harder for our team to hit like sales goals and stuff. And so he came in to try to like shake everybody up, you know, try to do like what should have been like a motivational speech, but I think it just ended up going the other way. And he starts talking about some of these other call center places that he manages. And he's like, you know, you guys are out here, you guys are taking a bunch of bathroom breaks. Like I remember that was a big thing, like talking about how many bathroom breaks are taken. And if we don't take bathroom breaks, how many more sales we can get. He's like, I got this one lady at another call center. I'm gonna be honest with you. She wears a diaper. And I'm not telling you to wear a diaper, but she makes sales. So maybe you need to start thinking about that. Like this dude, like I was like, man, this man literally is talking about us wearing a diaper right now. Like, wow. Hey, God damn. Oh man. Like, I mean, ride or die with this place. But yeah, it was just a funny thing. But there was a lot of cool people. I mean, I still talk to, I still talk to you. I still talk to a few people from there. So it was definitely a fun time, a good time. And you're right. A lot of sales places don't give you that base pay. So that was nice of them for sure. I mean, you didn't have to be, you still had to try to make sales. I think probably if you weren't making any sales for a period of time, they probably are having you hit the hay. I'm assuming,
a lot of people was getting booted out real fast.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a revolving door thing. I think you left before I left. Yeah, I think you left. Yeah, because I stayed until basically the end. Like there was an end point.
I heard. But I left right before the end because I remember people telling me, because I was in touch with a few people and was like, I got the job where I'm not going to say where I work or anything like that, but I got the job where I'm currently working. And it was like a week later, people are like, oh, the place shut down or something. Like it's done. Like, I'm like, oh, damn. Like I got out of there like at the nick of time, man.
Yeah. They basically, I think what ended up happening was it was a thing where it obviously wasn't enough sales. And they just had to just like completely like end their contract with the provider, like, because it wasn't moving. And the thing was the company had such a bad reputation in the areas we were selling it. It was like we were selling trash over the phone. So it was an uphill battle, man. Really, I would say the majority of my sales came from my personality. Like people just got on the phone and they liked me. And they were like, you know what? This service, I haven't heard too many good things about it, but I like you, so I want to work with you and do it. So that was the I think that's the best thing you can really get from any sales job is like you were saying, like it translates to business. I think overall it just translates to like communication skills with people, like likability.
That's true.
Being able to build connections, build rapport really fast, even in the dating world, man. Sales translates to dating too.
Everything conversation. That's honestly why I started doing a podcast, because I realized with all the people that I talk to on a regular basis, I'm like, I enjoy conversation. I enjoy like talking to this person that I do not know, right? I'm learning about them, and everybody's got a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something that I was like, this is something I definitely enjoy doing. Let me take it to where I'm not just talking about one specific thing, trying to have one set objective. I'm just having free form conversation. And that's definitely what I love about it. But those skills, that personality thing. And that's one thing too. I remember, because you know this, in that world, there's the people who struggle with it and they have a bad attitude and all that kind of stuff. And the people with the good personality. 9 times out of 10, the people with the good personality are always the successful ones. The people with the negative attitude they're the ones that like, there's obviously something there, right? There's, so it's a huge thing, because you have to be, I don't want to use the term likable. I feel like that's a simplified way of saying it, but in a sense you have to be likable, but I think it's more like relatable. Like I'm calling you as a human being. I'm not calling you because are you going to take, hey, Cory, are you going to buy this or not? You know what I'm saying? Like that's not going to work, right? You gotta just, ease into it and build it up. And it's a whole different, there's so many lessons in that and stuff that at the time you may not realize, but looking back, I can definitely see that every job I've had, especially in that world, has definitely helped me with a building block in some capacity.
Yeah, man. John Maxwell got one of my favorite quotes on it. He says, your attitude determines your latitude. So it determines how high you rise or how low you fall.
Wow.
So, yeah, man, take that, put that in your back pocket, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a huge thing for sure. Yeah, man. So like kind of transitioning to you, because obviously when we met, I feel like you were starting to go on this being a fitness trainer journey. So what got you, like, what made you decide? Because I know you were already working on your own like fitness and stuff and your evolution as a person on your body and stuff. So I guess before you get into the fitness training, like what made you decide to go on that journey just for your own well-being, apart from, even becoming and trying to drop these gems for other people?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. To truly understand the story, I'm gonna give you the short version. Obviously, I don't want to bore the listeners, but I I got to go back in time a little bit to bring you up to
bring
you up to that point where we met back in 2017. So I got to go back to 2014, man. I had just graduated from university, Ferris State University here in Michigan, and I had my bachelor's degree. Man, shout out to Ferris, man. Bulldog Nation, man. But anyway, I had got my bachelor's degree in construction management, and I fucking hated it, man. Like, I worked in my field instantly out of college, you know, and I'm moving from university back home. So I'm living in my mom's house again, and I hate my job. Like, shit was kind of rough. And in the midst of that, tragedy struck. Like, one of my best friends passed away. There's this girl, actually, that I grew up with, one of my best friends. She passed away from sickle cell anemia. So it was health related. And the thing that hurt the most was like, we were like really close in age. Like, I was 23 at the time. She was 22. You know, so it's like, I'm a month older than her, you know, she passed so young. And so that was something that really like cracked, as they say, my rose colored glasses, really shifted my paradigm and made me realize, you know what, like, you don't have as much time as you think you do. Like, this could all end tomorrow. Nothing's promised. And so, you know, for her and for the sake of, you know, what people are going to say about you when you're gone, you should make the most out of every day. Right. Yeah. So by, you know, just stroke of just like life happening, stroke of luck in a sense, I actually got laid off from that job. And this turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to me. Because in the midst of that, you know, my best friend passes, I get laid off from the job. I get into this leadership development group, and I'm like doing these like nightly meetings where they're like talking about mindset and professional development, leadership, and you know, entrepreneurship. And it was like these people who I had never heard talk about something that I didn't even know existed, like working for yourself. I thought the victory was like, yo, you go to college, you get a degree, you're successful, right? Yeah. Like, but it was all of these people that I was meeting that was successful, actually doing something for themselves, working for themselves. They built something. And I was getting that instilled in me at night. And then what I did actually in the midst of me just figuring out what I wanted to do next, because after the layoff, I realized like I need to be building a skill. I need to be doing something for me to actually funnel myself in a direction. I didn't know it was going to be fitness at the time, but I knew I wanted to work for myself. So funny enough, we were talking about sales. I got a sales job at my local gym. So I started working. My first sales job was at LA Fitness. And I don't know if I was supposed to say their name or not, but
it doesn't matter to me. I just
it's
certain things I decide to.
Okay, I got you. But got you. Yeah. So you know, I'm working at LA Fitness, whatever, and just started. Never had done sales before. Had no experience in it. I actually sucked at it at first, but it was something that I was determined to learn to implement in my life, because I knew if I was going to do something for myself and be self-employed, own a business, I needed to know how to sell and market whatever I was going to do. Now, it was just through like a turn of events of me working there, starting to work out, starting to work on myself, really realizing that it was going to be fitness. But that didn't happen until like right around the time we met. Like, that's when I was like, that year is when I was really starting to realize like I can make some money off this. Cause I had my big transformation. 2014 was the year all the stuff went down. 2015, I'm like, I'm going to get serious about my fitness. So I started, you know, reading all the fitness magazines and watching all the YouTube videos and like just like pouring my life into this. And I would go to the gym every day. Yeah. And I went from like weighing, like I used to be really skinny, like really wiry. I was I'm like 5 now, about 165-ish. So I'm real skinny. Yeah. Started lifting weights, started eating a lot of calories. And I did like a dirty bulk for you fitness nerds out there that know what that is. And I blew up, man. In 2015, I went from like at the top of the year being 165 to like 230. Wow. And I got up to 230 at the top.
This was in a year?
It was in a year.
Wow.
I wasn't fucking around, bro. Yeah. So I got up to 230 and I was what you would call fat swole. Yeah. Right? I had some muscle, but I had a lot of gut too. Yeah. And so then at the top of the year, I'm like, all right, well, let me get serious about this, trim this up, see what I got. And dedicated myself to it, kind of, you know, took a lot of concepts I had learned in that year, put together my own program. And in 5 months from January of that year to May of that year, 2016, I was able to lose 50 pounds in 5 months. So I went from 230 to 180, got ripped, put it out there on social media. And, you know, I was getting all the praise, congratulations. Wow, that's amazing. And then directly after that, hey, what did you do? How can you help me?
Yep.
Right. So it kind of started small. Like I was helping a couple friends out and I wasn't even charging at first. I was just helping people out. I didn't think nothing of it, but I actually started getting results for people. So I found out that, you know, the things that I had learned, as well as what I had, just kind of how I had developed as a person, like just my mindset and my coaching, those two things in combination, the knowledge and just having somebody to hold you accountable, it was helping people get real results. So I was like, fuck, man, I'm really good at this. And then, so that following year, 2017, that's when I started doing it at nighttime, you know, part-time after my day job, getting my certifications and really started to take it seriously.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, because I'm glad you told me about where you started, because I know each of us, like, different natural bodies. Like, for me, my struggle has always been trying to lose weight, where I know people who are naturally skinny, their struggle is trying to gain it. So as a person who's like a fitness trainer, like, how do you, because let me make sure I ask this question the right way. Knowing that, like, these, you know, there's someone who was like yourself who had a hard time gaining weight and someone like myself who would have a hard time losing weight. Like, how do you, because obviously there's a science between the two, but I think the first step is really encouraging them that they can do it, because I feel like both those people, right, have that struggle. How do they, you know, do it and keep that trajectory? And like, do you approach them, is the first step approaching them similar to, like, you know, motivating them, or is it like just right to this is what you got to do these things? Like, how does that, like, approach really work with how you approach those two different characters?
That's a great question, man. And I will go out as far as to say I'm the only trainer, like the only coach that I know who's actually lived on both sides of the spectrum. You know, I've been super skinny and I've also been overweight. So being that I have experienced both, I can relate in a sense to both. But it's also a matter of, again, like it's the individual. So what I do is really based off, you know, where they're at and their level of experience. I'm definitely gonna, you know, give them some structure. So give them a game plan. That's the most important thing. Well, I'm not gonna say that. That's a part of it. The most important thing is they actually do it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, Tony. You want me to break it down, bro? All this shit works, man. Everything,
100%,
everything fucking works, bro. Like vegan, keto, tracking your macros. That's what I coach. Intermittent fast, and I talk about that. You know, paleo, all that shit works, bro. You just gotta do it.
Right. Stay consistent. Consistency, right?
And so that's where I come in. It's like I'm the guy who's hitting you up every day and making sure like you're on it, that you're doing the workouts, that you're tracking your foods, that you're actually doing what's going to get you the results. Because I know for a fact, if you do anything consistently, you're going to see the changes. It's just about finding something that you can continue to do, because whatever you did to get the body, you have to continue to do to keep the body.
That's the thing. And that's what I was gonna, you know, because I've gotten to the point where I know how to really, like, get my weight down and stuff like that, but I'm miserable doing it. Like, I have to, like, eat just like baked chicken and vegetables, and like, it's like I can do that to a point, but it's you know, the struggle is, because I've always been up and down my whole life. Like, what's funny is when I was like a little kid, like between you know, in like elementary school, I was like a toothpick. Like, I was just like, that's how I was, like like, so like I used to get made fun of for being too skinny. Like,
you know, you know what I'm saying? And ain't no girls checking for the skinny dude either.
Right.
You know
It's it's a funny thing.
You know what I mean? We don't get no play.
Right. So I've been on both sides and stuff as well, and like up and down. But you know, right now where I'm at is, and it's not that I hate to like approach things like, you know, like trying to find a loophole or like a sneaky way, but that's just the way my mind works, bro. That's just like what is the cheat code, like, because really what what a lot of people say, I know you bring up the macros, the intermittent fast and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting is the easiest thing for me to do,
Right.
but it's when I'm consistent with it, it's nice and I see some results, but still like doesn't work fast enough for me sometimes. So like, but a lot of people, this is what I want to ask you. So like what people seem to talk about, it's like they'll go through all these different things and they're like, look, at the bottom line, calories in, calories out, right? So like, is that really true though, or is it like more complicated than that? Because if that's true, it seems like it'd be easy. Okay, I can eat whatever I want as long as I'm under this amount of calories. I mean,
okay, that's a good question. So that has some truth to it, but it's varying degrees of truth, man. It's varying degrees of truth, because all right, so we're gonna say calories in, calories out.
Right.
To lose weight on the scale, you have to, burn more calories than you consume. So that means two things. You're either burning more or you just consuming less. Either way, if you're not consuming as much as you burn, you're gonna lose weight. I like to coach macros for two reasons. One, macros, the listeners might not know what a macro is. Macros are in calories. So if calories is a stool, macros are the three legs of the stool that hold it up. Okay. So what makes up a calorie is, grams of protein, carbs, and fats. And every type of food that you can think of includes one of these three or all of these three. Yeah. And the amounts of each that you eat determine how your body is going to perform, how it looks, how it performs. So the reason why I actually coach macros, I want to look sexy. And I coach motherfuckers who also want to look sexy. Right. So if you got your macros in balance, that's going to affect how you actually look as you lose the weight. Okay. The second thing, the second thing is with the macro approach, having that imbalance is going to affect like how your body actually processes foods, because each of the macros has a different purpose. Protein has a purpose in your body. Carbs have a purpose in your body. Fats have a purpose in your body. So you can go on the cheeseburger diet and burn more calories than you consume. But if those macros are out of balance, how your body's actually going to be able to operate, like it may not be the most efficient weight loss. Right? I got you. You might get a more efficient weight loss with the boring chicken approach, because high protein is one of the fastest ways to lose fat. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense.
No, it does, because basically the scale is one thing. So you can reduce the number on the scale, but how your body, number one, actually looks and how you actually feel, those are two different conversations, right?
I tell people this, it's a big difference between losing weight and getting lean, right? Yeah. You can lose a lot of weight, but that don't necessarily mean you got lean. I mean, look at DJ Khaled, right? Yeah. He lost like 40 something, 50 something pounds, right? Yeah. Really impressive. But if you look at his before and after, it's like he looked like a smaller DJ Khaled. Like, right. He didn't get no more impressive or leaner. He just looked, a smaller version of himself. And I ain't talking shit about DJ Khaled. Shout out to him, but
I know exactly what you're talking about and stuff. Yeah, because like my ideal thing is like I don't want to like when I've gotten thinner and stuff, like it was a hard time maintaining my muscle. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I was losing everything, and it just like I have a big head, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like right now, you can't tell as much, but when I get thinner and stuff, that boy just sticks out like a sore thumb, man. So it's so really it's like, how can I get to a point where, and I'm just kind of speaking hyperbolically, like for myself, but like where everything, like I want to maintain like the bigger kind of look, the kind of more husky, but like be as out like lean, I guess I would use, like where you look as like strong and like fit as possible, but I don't want to be like tiny. I don't really want my bones showing. Like I know some of these people out here, like their ribs are showing. Like I don't want anything like that. Like and I feel like you're a good example, because you really have a good like balance of like you're maintaining that muscle and you're
Mhm.
not like getting you're not having like the anorexic look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like this, you look like a regular human being with muscle, like how like, someone who I'm thinking is a strong person in my head is supposed
Right.
to look. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not so that's really I'm not gonna say that's a challenge, but it's it's trying to find like, okay, what, because I can go super hard at shit, right? Like I have this vibe, like when I put my mind to something, I'm like laser focused in it,
Right.
but I get like bored with it or tired of it, and then it's like, man, like I want to mix it up. I deserve to eat like a certain way because I've done this time. And I know that's how everyone
Mm,
slips off, right? It's the same thing with
yeah.
drug addicts, alcoholics, whatever. They do something really good for a long time, and it's like, oh, like I deserve a drink. I deserve, I deserve to let it loose a little bit. So I'm sure that's a big thing, is trying to find that balance. Because I know you do talk about some cheat days, right? Like
Yeah.
you're about, what is it, like are you cool with like a weekly thing? Like how do you decide like what's okay? And
Good question. So what I do for my clients, we program in one cheat day a week. And so um sometimes it could be longer depending on the goal or the person. But usually we go for 1 day a week. And there's actually a lot of like, not just like psychological benefits, like you're saying, like, just kind of let the pressure off and feel good and feel like you accomplished something, reward yourself for your efforts.
yeah,
If you've been going hard for 6 days, 1 day back isn't going to set you back,
yeah,
and it's one of those things where you want to win more than you lose. So if you're taking 6 steps forward, you take 1 step back, you're still making progress, right?
yeah,
So there's that way of looking at it. But from a scientific standpoint, I mean, there's actually some benefits, to having a day where you increase the calories, right? So if we're just talking calories again, you got these days where you're in what they call a calorie deficit. That's,
right,
again, burning more calories than you consume. If you got 1 day out of the week where you actually raise that, you eat more calories. Well, what happens is your body will release, some hormones associated with fat loss, to actually spike your hunger and different things like that, because you got a day where the calories are higher.
yeah,
It has some benefits to keeping your metabolism active. A lot of people experience, they diet hard for a long time, and the buck stops at a certain point. The gig is
yeah,
up, and
yeah,
they just stop losing weight to hit that plateau. Well,
yeah,
part of it is like, you didn't starve your metabolism. You went
yeah.
low calorie so long and so hard, pause, that your metabolism stalled out. So how do you
Yeah,
counteract that? Give it some more calories, right? Give
yeah.
your metabolism more calories, and then that'll restoke the flame of the metabolism. And hopefully I ain't lose the listeners on that one.
No, that really piqued my interest too, because now I know the metabolism thing overall is something that scientists are still trying to like really dive deep in. Because one thing that always kills me, like growing up, like I'll use my friend Chuck for an example.
Mhm.
Shout out to Chuck. So like when we get to middle school, right? So 8th grade is when we started being friends. We were the same height,
Yeah.
everything like that. I was a little stockier than him still. We were the same height. Go into high school, this man shoots up like a damn bean sprout, bro. Like he's like,
Yeah.
I remember, like, I have this memory. I know when you're younger, your memories are distorted, but I
Yeah.
swear this dude was like the Empire State Building. Like, bro, like it was like, I was like, how did this happen? But his metabolism was always this man could eat, just plow through like he'd eat like 10 tacos from Taco Bell. Like he would eat like
Yeah.
just crazy amounts of food, and like so fast. Like I couldn't even like keep up with them at all. Like I'd be working on like one taco. This man's ate like 5 tacos. Like so, but at the same time, like my weight would be hard. Like what I would gain weight easier. He just would burn through it.
Yeah.
So but it makes sense if you think about it, because like if you're burning calories like on a regular basis, whether you're just more active, then and you eat calories, like you eat more, it's almost training your body. It seems like it's almost training your body to be able to handle a larger caloric intake and go and burn those calories.
That is
So
exactly what it is.
that makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, that's
you're conditioning your body to be more efficient with the calories you consume. Reason people get out of shape, get overweight, is because their body's storing those calories and it's not using it. It's
Yeah.
storing it like, oh, let's save this shit for later, right?
Yeah.
And so that shit just sitting on you.
Yeah.
And what you want to do in your training and with your dieting is just get your body better at burning.
Yeah.
And part of that is taking some away just to give it back. The other part is you gotta go in that gym. You know, you gotta burn it. You gotta build some muscle. Lean muscle is going to contribute to a faster metabolism. And you know, you gotta move more, you know,
Yeah.
whether it's cardio, hit, just walking, you know, going for taking I tell my clients to shoot for steps goals, right? Because you can see that. And
Yeah.
all of that together is going to lead to a sexier, leaner you.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. What is the deal with because you don't seem like you're leaning too much in one way of this, but I know that there seems to be an argument in the fitness community with where cardio is, like how important cardio is, or if you should even do cardio at all.
Man,
like
the cardio debate, man.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not the like pro cardio guy, but I'm not against it either, you know. Like, because the thing is, like, I had a disdain for cardio for a long time. I got to tell you a story, right?
Yeah.
And it was only because of me, right? This is before I started coaching. I was pissed off at cardio, like they like fucking owe me money, right? Like cardio was a person and they owed me money, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I was pissed off at cardio because I used to do so much and I never got the results that I wanted. Like, how many people can relate to this? Like, you're running every single day and you're thinking in your mind, like, I'm gonna lose all this weight, I'm gonna get lean, I'm gonna get abs. And yeah, you lose some weight, but it doesn't look the way you want it to look.
Yeah.
Like that was me. Like that was me. So in my college years, I remember this one summer in particular. It was my junior year, and I come home from Ferris to Detroit. Now my guys grew up in Detroit. You know, Detroit. For you guys that you children that don't know, it's the hood. You know what I mean?
Right. For the out of towners, right?
Yeah, for the out of towners. Detroit is not a nice place. You know, I grew up on the west side of Detroit, in the hood, and you know, I come home to my mom's house for the summer. That's just what we do. And I had these goals because I had started working out and lifting weights and stuff, and I did that insanity program like twice. You know, I lost some weight, right? But I never really looked as ripped as I wanted to look. So I have this goal in mind, like, all right, I'm gonna really go harder this summer. So I'm like you, Tony. Like, I'm like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, like full head stand. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So I go get this weighted vest and I start waking up 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, like every day. Like maybe like, I'm not gonna say every day, maybe like 4 or 5 days a week. And I'm running 4 miles a day, every single day. You know what I mean? Just crack of dawn, sun ain't even fully up. And I'm just running. And I'm in the hood too. Nobody runs in the hood. People run in the bird, they don't do that in the hood.
Right.
So the people who are up, they see me and they looking at me like I'm crazy.
Unless they're running from something, right?
Yeah, where is he running? What's going on? Like, yeah, like, so everybody, you know, I'm freaking people out. Motherfuckers think I got a bulletproof vest on because they don't know what a weighted vest is.
Yeah.
You know? And I was going after it, and I did it for the whole summer, you know, the 3 months, man. And at the end of it, I barely had any results to show for it. Like, I still had people asking me, like you work out? You know what I mean? Like, it was it was debilitating. Like, to work that hard and like it not pay off. And what I found out actually is, you know, cardio sucks for fat loss alone. Like, cardio by itself will not help you lose fat. It'll help you lose weight, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose fat. And as we talk about metabolism, repeated cardio sessions like that actually will like slow down your metabolism.
Wow.
And so it's one of those things where the thing that builds your metabolism is actually getting stronger. Like building lean muscle, getting stronger. But I didn't know that until several years later. And so that's why when I found out, I was like, oh, screw this cardio thing. Like, I was all like, F you cardio. Like, I'm just not. I was preaching it for a minute. But what I've learned, man, is that there's no one size fits all approach, right? You know, there's a butt for every seat. Some people, you know, they do really well with cardio because depending on where they're at in their journey, as far as like how much lean muscle tissue they have, or what their lifestyle's like. Sometimes they could benefit from doing 30 minutes of cardio, but we still want to strengthen them up. Everybody should be strength training, but the cardio training should be very specific to the individual. What I don't like is like everybody just kind of thinks like, oh, if you run or just do the Stairmaster or do your bike, like you're gonna get like lean. That's not how it works. Like the top two is get stronger, get the calorie macro thing in order, and then add in cardio for extra spice. Hopefully that makes sense.
So the cardio is almost like the cherry on the top, but really the foundation is the strength training more than anything.
If we talking about a house, the foundation of the house is the strength training. The walls that make up the room is the calories and the macros.
Yeah.
And the rooftop is the cardio.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you, because we talked about the two different body, I mean, obviously there's more than two different body types, but just to simplify it, the person who has trouble gaining weight versus the person who has trouble losing it. Do you try to steer the people who are on the skinny side of things away from cardio, and just say, hey, we need you to just focus on like eating more protein and like doing more weightlifting, and then maybe leave the cardio for the people who are like on my side of things trying to lose weight kind of thing? Like, is that the difference between the two?
100%, man. If you're trying to gain lean muscle, if you're skinny, you don't really need cardio. Like, I feel like that person, you're fighting an uphill battle, because your problem, if you're skinny, is you're not consuming enough calories to put on size. That in combination with you got to get stronger too, so that the size you put on isn't fat and is actually muscle. But that your problem isn't like having to burn more calories. So you need to actually stay away from cardio, right? And just focus on getting stronger and eating. That's a job in itself when you're skinny, right? Because a lot of skinny dudes feel like they eat a lot, but
and they're not seeing
no progress, but they're actually not eating a lot. They're eating a lot relative to what they think is a lot. But then when we track it and we see, okay, well, your body's this much and you're supposed to be eating this much, then they see, oh, damn, I haven't really been eating that much. So that's the thing too, is like you gotta track it. Because I was that guy. I was that guy. I wouldn't eat all day. I eat one big meal, right? And I think, oh, I eat a lot. Well, really, if you look at the amount of calories I need to take in to gain weight, I wasn't even coming close.
Yeah.
Until I started tracking it. It's kind of like the calories is like money, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You think you're on the budget and you're doing well, right? Oh, I do really good with my money. And then you look at that bank statement, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
What was I doing? Like, I spent how much at the gas station? Like, that's kind of how it is. And so on the opposite side of the fence, when you're a bigger person, I definitely think, obviously getting stronger, like I said, and getting your nutrition in order is priority. But get you moving around more. I mean, whether it's cardio, just going for walks, something simple like everything counts when we're trying to lose weight. I actually recently posted about a woman who I helped. Over a year span, we lost over 100 pounds together.
Wow.
And it was literally all
round of applause for that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Man. Thanks. Shout out to her. But it was literally a thing where, got her stronger, encouraged her to eat within certain macros that I prescribe for her, and just getting steps.
Yeah.
Like, she had one day of cardio and the rest was, hey, I want you to get 20,000 steps today. So she would take walk breaks at work and, get on her treadmill after work and just walk until she hit her steps goal. She track it on her, Fitbit.
Yeah.
And, you look up a year and some change later and she's over 100 pounds lighter. So,
wow.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. That's anything you set your mind to, man. It's the age old saying, as they say, and finding that thing that works for you. What you said that interests me, and that's why I kind of laughed when you were talking about it, is how like the skinnier person, they got to make sure, they got to force themselves almost to eat more, where the bigger person is like, I'm eating too much, I gotta like Like, it's just funny, like the
chill.
different mind states of it. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, like you're not even like, these things are just to each person in those different categories, like they think what they're doing is normal, right? They don't think that they're doing something abnormal, but really the normal is like somewhere in between, right? There's a medium where it's like you don't want to eat too much, but you want to eat enough, like you know, whatever that amount is. And
it's very, that's very profound what you just said, because it's like, if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to continue to get what you've always gotten.
Yep.
So, you know, what you definitely need to experience if you want new results is you need to experience the discomfort of just doing something you've never done before, because that's an indication that you're about to get some new results. So you need to feel that. Like, you need to actually feel like, damn, this is hard. And if you feel that, like, embrace it. Like, okay, I'm doing something completely new. Like, and I think people run away from that feeling for some reason. Like, we want to be comfortable, but there's no like wins or successes in your comfort zone. It's just not, you know. So
no, absolutely, man. That's a crazy fact, man. The one thing that I wanted to ask you that you know, with everything, so like, because one thing that when you talk about the burn more calories than you consume thing, right? When you talk about that, so like, I use the app that I've been using is the what is it? I don't know if it's called My Calories. It's got like the person, it's like the Jump Man. My Fitness Pal. Yeah,
that's what we use too, man. I use that. I've been using that for 6 years, man. It
seems the most user friendly for sure. But like on mine, like I'll just kind of show you really quick, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, so I can. I told you it's got the Jump Man.
Jump Man.
It's got the Jump Man on there. But yeah, so it says my goal, right? It says goal 2,230 calories, right? Now, that seems like a lot, but I put in here that I'm trying to lose the maximum amount of weight, which I think is like 2 pounds a day or something.
Yeah.
Now, my exercise, my calories that it says that I burned was 567. So obviously, when you say calorie, like burn more calories than you take, would that mean that I would have to like only eat like 400 calories of a day? Or does this just mean if I follow this, as long as I'm this or under, in theory, the 2,000 whatever calories, in theory, I should still lose weight? Is that, because that's where I get confused about it? Because
that's a good question. So I'm gonna attack this from two different angles, right?
Okay.
I'm talking in twos today. I don't know why.
No, it's all good,
seems
man.
to be what happens. So you got one approach where this is what I have most people do, right? Completely ignore what the fuck MyFitnessPal is saying about the calories you burn and how you can eat additional. Fuck that. You set one number, whether it's that 2,200 or less, and you hit that every single day for at least a week to 2 weeks, right? So you hit that calorie goal and combine with whatever exercise you do, and then weigh yourself and see what happens, right? So if that 2,200, you've done that for 7 days straight, and then you get on the scale and you've lost weight, congratulations, you're on the right path. Right? If you've weighed yourself and you gain weight or you stay the same, guess what?
It didn't work.
Drop the calories. You gotta drop the calories. So now we go from 2,200 to just 2,000. I would say just drop it down a little bit. And I'll do that for a straight week and see what happens. Right? Because it's the thing that you want is not insurmountable. It's not something like nobody's ever accomplished. Right? It's just about finding out where you're at,
tuning,
and tweaking it to fit you. So that's one way to look at it. Just focus strictly on nutrition. And I tell most people to do this. The more advanced way is they got technology now that tells you how many calories you burning all day. Right? So I got this thing called the Whoop, right? Throwing my Whoop in the sky. I got a Whoop and a Fitbit, man. I'm fanatical about everything I do. Fitbit tracks the steps. The Whoop tracks my sleep, my recovery, and the calories I burn throughout the day.
That's what's up.
This is more accurate than like your Apple Watch or your Fitbit in terms of like tracking the calories. That's what they specialize in. And what you do, if you like a math nerd like me, is you just watch how many calories you burn in a day. And what you have to do is make that number higher than the number that you actually eat. So if it's 2,200 is the number you still eating, then your goal is to burn more than 2,200 on your Whoop. you know.
Yeah.
That's another way to look at it. And then, from some of the old science, I think this has recently been debunked, but I don't know the exact numbers. So I'm gonna just give you some old science. What's been said is that 1 pound of fat is like 3,500 calories.
Mm-hmm.
So your goal is, if I want to lose a pound in a week, I need to have the difference of what I burn and what I consume equal up to 3,500.
Yeah.
Simple, just math, right? Might be
Yeah.
boring to some of these people listening, but hey, for the math nerds, I just gave you a gem. So you can either
Right.
track what you burn or just track what you eat. I think the eating thing is the easiest, though. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
You got two different ways to look at it.
Yeah, fair enough. So basically, you want to really just you pick that goal, try to be that for the week. Now, the one thing I guess we'll leave off on this because I want to the cheat day just to that's my favorite. That's my favorite thing to talk about. So when you like how you recommend it, I'm not saying that
Right.
like everybody's got to do it this way, but I'm just saying how you would recommend it with a cheat day. Are you just like, is it no holds bars? Like, don't even count, don't even track it, like just whatever you do. And then are you only doing the counting the calories for the days that you're, I guess, whatever your non-cheat days, essentially?
Yeah. That's a good question, man. Because recently I've actually changed my position on this. So I was doing that for a while where I was just telling my clients, like, look, track, because this is what I was doing. Track everything 6 days a week, and then that one day don't track nothing, just no hold bars, have fun. Right. I did that. I lost 50 pounds in 5 months.
Yeah.
And I did great at it because I had everything else in line. Everything else was perfect.
Yeah.
And I realized everybody's not like you, Cory.
Yeah.
They're gonna be fucking up throughout the week. Right.
Yeah.
And they're also not as active, because during the time, like, I was doing tons of steps in addition to like lifting weights. So my metabolism was like, it was bouncing off the walls, right?
Yeah.
So what I've found is a better way to do it, a more sustainable approach, is you just raise the calories that day, right?
Okay.
So let's say if I'm coaching you, right, Tony, 2,200 calories is your goal for 6 days out of the week. And then on cheat day, I want you to shoot for somewhere between 25 and 2,700. So I'm gonna give you a surplus of anywhere from 300 to 500 calories. Don't go over 27 though.
Yeah.
And whatever that 27 is made up of, it's up to you.
Completely. Yeah, your choice. Okay.
So that way I'm actually building in how many more calories I want you to shoot for to boost this metabolism up, instead of it just being kind of random. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now I thought of one more question. I'm sorry, man. I'm not. I don't want to feel like I'm holding you hostage out here, but I got you online. I got to pick your brain a little bit, but so the one thing that the other thing that I've struggled with, and when I've been successful, I've tried to make things as strict as the other days. But obviously, people are having family dinners, right? They're going to their families for dinner. Mm-hmm. They might go out to eat with their family. Like, people are, it's going to be hard to count certain things when you don't know what something was made of, right, all this kind of stuff. So how do you like, what do you tell people about that? Like, how do you tell them to navigate around that?
That's a good one, man. The thing I tell people is, like, don't overthink it. Like, that's not the norm. Like, most people aren't. Like, if you really serious about your fitness goals, like, you're not fucking going like out to eat with family every night. Like, is that really more than like once a week?
Right.
Probably not. Right. If it's a family dinner, obviously it's a little harder. Do your best. Go on to find MyFitnessPal, find something. You can search for mashed potatoes and kind of guesstimate. You really want to be anal about it? Yo, I have had times where either I brought my own food to these functions because I was just serious, and people made fun of me. But guess what? I'm the most ripped out of all of you, right?
Yeah.
So what you got to say?
Yeah.
And the other way, you can bring a food scale. You're gonna look like a dork either way doing these, but 3, 4, 5 months down the line, they're gonna be asking for your help because you've been doing the consistent effort to get the results, man. So I look at it like that, man. Either you just find some like it on MyFitnessPal, or if you want to just be like meticulous and you serious, just, you know, bring your own food or bring like a food scale. Just be like, all right, you know, I got this much of this shit, this much of this.
Yeah.
You eliminate any reason for you not to make it happen, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Eliminate
definitely.
your own excuses by being prepared.
Yeah, and even in a worst case scenario, if you have to count that as your cheat day and the rest of the days, you just got to be on the money kind of thing.
Got to be on the money. Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, man, nobody gets rewarded for half-ass effort, man.
Right.
Like, you know, nobody respects the person who goes into a store and asks for somebody else's money, right?
Right.
It's a thief. Well, think about the person who wants to get in shape and they didn't do the work, but they want the results of the people who did do the work.
Yeah.
Ain't that the same?
That's you're 100% right though.
You want something you ain't worked for, baby.
Yeah.
You know, who are you to say you're entitled to this? You know?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what a lot of people struggle, man, is the entitlement, man. They feel like because they did something that to them they perceive in their mind, this was so hard. I should have I earned this, or I should have more results. Like they feel like they're entitled to these things. Really, like, you're only entitled to what you work for. And even that, you're not entitled to that. You know, you gotta earn everything that you want in life. Like everything you want, if I can kind of break it down, is on the other side of the hard work you're not doing yet.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you look at it like that, it's empowering, because it's no longer about, you know, what can somebody give to me? It's like, what more can I do?
Yeah. And one thing too that I want to say, when I've been in my best moments of fitness and paying attention, I've also been better about managing money, like other aspects of responsibilities and stuff, because when what you just said about the payoff coming later, not the instant gratification, when you already are telling your mind to do those things, that helps you in every other aspect of life too, right? So that's, I mean, all these are, I mean, these things just help you in so many different ways. It's not even just about the how you look, it's how your brain works, all this kind of stuff. Yeah,
like people ask me, like, because I didn't talk too much about the business stuff, man, but like, I work 100% for myself. I have been, like the past 3 years, and do really well for myself. Like I got an employee, a team, like I got a bunch of mentors. Like my business is doing really great right now.
Yeah.
And part of that is I built so much discipline in this area of fitness and nutrition that all I had to do was translate that skill set into something that could make me money. Now, it just so happened that my choice was something that was directly correlated, right? So it really worked out well. It was a hand in glove fit. But I know clients who, just because they've actually applied this discipline in this area and got results, they got better results in their workplace. They getting promotions. They starting their business. They got better relationships with their family, better relationships with their lover. Like these translations of the skill sets you build here, like it can improve all areas of your life.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's wild. That's absolutely true. And you made me think of one more question. I swear that's all.
Cool, man. That's the signs of a good conversation.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I know I'm keeping you up late, man. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good combo.
You owe me lunch one of these days.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. We'll have some dried chicken and some rice. But so what you say about like you talk about like the people who want something that they didn't deserve, and and pertains to fitness, obviously there's a conversation about steroids, about testosterone boosters, about the industry is filled with things that are marketing people for an easy way to do something. So like I've done testosterone boosters before, so I'm going to be completely honest about that, and I have gotten faster results because of it. I'm not but I've also had some negative consequences when on the backside of that. So like, how do you, because I'm sure people ask you about that, right? It's got to be something that people bring up time to time, right? So how do you approach that conversation?
Man, like, cause I was able to do it completely natural. I just encourage people to find out what you can do naturally first before you start to put all these different things in your body. Cause like when you think about it, it's not gonna negate the work. Like them motherfuckers on steroids that compete in the Olympia or all that, like they still train really hard. The only difference between them and like the average person is like they have an accelerated ability to recover from that because they're pumping testosterone and, you know, high levels of testosterone in their body. So that means they can train harder and recover faster. Really, everything you're doing in the gym is to break down the body, and then it's supposed to recover. And the recovery is where you make the gains. So if you can recover faster, you can go harder. Pause.
It's almost like a superpower.
Yeah, that's all it is. So, but they still gotta like go in there and lift that heavy ass weight. They still gotta count their macros and weigh their foods out like a dork, and like they still gotta eat.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't negate the work. You still got to get past level 1 to get to level 5. And so I just tell people, like, you know, see what you can do naturally first. Like go to your natural limit. And, you know, once you feel like you've gotten to that point where you're like, all right, I'm as ripped as I can get, you know, naturally, let me see what else I got. But I just haven't met anybody personally or coached anybody personally who's gotten to that point. Because most people, once they see like what they can do on their own, they are amazed at their own results. They're amazed at their own ability to really like change, like completely change how they look. I know I was, right? Like I'm at a point where I'm still looking for my genetic limit. Like I know like 5 years from now, I'm going to look even better, you know, just going for it. Now, you know, maybe I might get in my 40s or something like that and decide to go on like, you know, TRT, like testosterone replacement, just depending on how my hormone levels are at that point. But right now, you know, I want to just see how much I can do naturally. And just most of the people that gravitate to me are kind of the same. And anybody who asks, I just tell them that, man.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. And that's true. There's no free pass. I mean, there's no, you know, whatever you do, you know, that, and really the steroids is really for people. It's the recovery thing, but they have to do that, all that physical activity and all that stuff. But they're just, it's becoming more about the show. Really, it seems like the bodybuilding competitions. But you're not going to look, if you just do steroids and just, you know, sit on your ass, like, then it's going to be a bad look.
I know motherfuckers who are on steroids that I look better than.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
You can be on steroids and still look terrible. Like I've seen it. It's possible. And so it's important to recognize it's, like you said, no free pass. But also too, like the goals of somebody who's on steroids is different than the everyman goals. Like, I feel like if you're on steroids to either compete athletically or you're on steroids to, you know, showcase your body on the stage, like in bodybuilding. Like that's never been my goal. Like I don't have any intentions of stepping on stage at this point in my life, because I do very well without it. And so it's one of those things where you got to ask yourself, why are you in it? You know, if you're in it to get to that point and you want to go to Mr. Olympia, you're gonna have to. Like you can't compete unless you on the steroids, you know? But if you just want to look good on the beach for the summer, like you don't need all that shit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, that's facts. That's facts. And that's wild. Man, I got one more for you, and I swear I'm gonna send you off, man. So I remember I watched one of your videos. You were talking about like ways to curb your appetite. You brought up coffee and caffeine and stuff, and this is something that I definitely use. You know, I take pre-workout in the morning to get me amped up, because I wake up, well, to you it might not be early, but to me 6 a.m, man, is a hard one for me. Okay. So I'm getting up at 6 a.m. and but again, I work kind of late, so you gotta give me a little bit of leeway there. But yeah, I wake up at 6 a.m. and I need something like that. I need that jolt. And the caffeine definitely does curb the appetite, you know, so that I can attest to. But is there any like downside that you saw to like caffeine, too much coffee? Like, what is there anything like that maybe could be a negative because of that?
Hey man, too much of anything can turn into a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I will say this, man, like I've been taking pre-workout almost every day for like the past 5 years. And
you're still good.
Yeah, like I'm not prescribing this, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying do this. Full disclosure, I'm not a doctor, right?
Yeah.
But I've been able to do it and I've been fine.
Yeah.
Caffeine thing, man, it's like, yes, your body will get like dependent on it. You keep doing it every day. I think there's levels of dependency, like, if you're measuring like some people say over 200 milligrams too much or whatever. But man, look, I say the best thing you can do for yourself, if you're concerned with that, just have some days where you don't do it, right? Like
Yeah.
have like a day of the week where you just don't do any like caffeine or you don't do any pre-workout. Let your body reset from it. Maybe you say you do intermittent fast and maybe you extend your fast a few hours. And then what you're doing when you do that is you're actually like readapting your body to function without it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a thing where it resensitizes you to it, because the reason why people like keep going more and more and more caffeine and they're dependent on it is because their body gets desensitized to it. They get used to it and they just have to take in more to even get the effect. It's kind of like the alcoholic who their alcohol consumption keeps going up because it takes more and more alcohol to actually get drunk, because they have high tolerance. Like you're building your caffeine tolerance. So you got to be mindful of that, but again, bro, like I'm taking in like 3.
It's not enough downside for it's and I see what you're saying, because it's not really
like unless you have to drink that shit all day to function, maybe concern, but like work out in the morning, man. I've been doing it for a while, man. That ain't a big deal.
Yeah. So what's like when it's Cory's cheat day, what's the dream? Like if you could, what's your regular cheat day and what's like the dream cheat day for you?
All right. So the regular cheat day actually kind of whack, man. Cause right now I'm doing a lot of projects where I gotta have my shirt off.
Yeah.
So like everything from like workout videos to like photo shoots and things like that. So I haven't been going too hard on the cheat days.
Yeah.
I did just get back from Miami last week.
Oh yeah, I saw that, man. You was looking like you was having a ball though.
I was having a good time. I was having a ball out there. So that was where I kind of went harder. But the regular cheat day is kind of whack, man. It's like I'm gonna have some extra carbs. So I'm gonna have more cups of rice. Or I'm gonna get the chips at Chipotle. I usually say no to the chips, but I'm gonna get them on cheat day. Yeah. And I might drink some more carbs. So I might drink like some fruit juice, or like I'm just trying to get like that calorie thing I just told you. I'm just trying to go from my number to the higher number. So my number to maintain my weight is somewhere, it's like around 2,500 right now. I'm just trying to get to 3,000. Like I'm just getting extra food in, but it's all the foods I usually eat with a couple of things in there, like, chips. That's the regular right now. Yeah. I might get some fries too.
I got you.
The dream cheat day, bro. That year I lost the 50 pounds in 5 months. I would have events. Yeah. Like I would plan out, like, all right, for lunch, I'm going to Pizza Hut and I'm getting the stuffed crust. I'm gonna eat the whole pizza. Yeah. And nighttime, I'm going to Chinese spot.
You're talking my shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting the orange chicken with the shrimp fried rice. Like I was going hard.
Yeah.
And then I used to have like a thing, like I live next to one of the best cheesecake spots in Detroit, man. Shout out to Petite's Cheesecake, man. They're amazing.
Oh yeah, shout out.
And like cheesecake is my thing, bro.
Cheesecake is good, bro.
Yeah, on my top 3 list of things that I love the most, you got the gym, sex, cheesecake.
Oh man, what a 3 though. That's the holy trinity though.
That's the holy trinity right there, bro. Imagine having them all in one day. Like,
oh man. That's good life. That's amazing, man. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, cheesecake is hard to be. It's funny because and I'm sure you might have some of this stuff with your family and different people like that, where like, you might have more expensive taste than people in your, people in your family and friends. Yeah. And so like, they'll think that, they're like, oh, this is your favorite thing, I'm making it for you. And it's really not your favorite thing, but you got to still pretend like it is, just so you don't upset them, kind of thing. Like, you know, I actually my birthday dinner would be like steak and lobster, but that's okay, I'll take this instead, you know. But like that kind of stuff. So that what you just said, kind of, because cheesecake is like my favorite kind of cake. And you know, so, but I don't have the heart to like change what I tell my family to, you know.
my thing is with women, like women be thinking like I value things that I don't.
Like
they be thinking like if they text me good morning, like it's the best thing in the world. And I'm like, that's great, you know. I appreciate
good morning,
it. You know, hey, good morning to you too. But it's not the thing I value the most. Right? Like it's weird, like with like people's like values, like how they view value, they project what they value onto what you should value. Right? So, like, you know, like again, like girls, like they'll value like, oh, the texting and the communication. That's cute. Like, it's great. I'm glad you're checking in. Yeah, that's not that important to me.
No, that's been a hard dynamic for me too, with you know, my relationship and stuff like that, is because, and I feel like human beings are starting, like there's more psychology about how different people value different things, and like they call it the love language, so on and so forth.
Book,
so
that's a good one.
But it makes I feel like that helps people, because, you know, kind of even bringing back what we were talking about the food between the skinny person, you know, bigger person, of thinking this is normal, this is what is the norm, because you've only lived your own life, right? You haven't lived outside of that. So you don't really have a frame of reference there. And it's the same thing with that, with relationships. It's okay for me to act this way or do this, or because nobody's really put me in check about that, or whatever the case is. And again, I'm definitely not perfect. I have my issues with all kinds of communication issues and whatever the case is. So I'm not denying accountability there, but no, it's you're 100%. It does seem like the texting, man, it's like, bro, I mean, come on with it.
Like that shit, man.
Yeah.
You really value that shit.
Oh, yeah. No, my girl will send me 10 texts and I won't even, like, in a blink of an eye, I'm like, this isn't even this isn't even humanly possible. I don't know how you could do that.
Can we just like talk when I see
you? Yeah.
I don't get it.
Or I'm kind of old school, to be honest with you. If it's important, it's a phone call. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do the, like, I gotta find the hidden details of the text. Like, what part of this is gotta sift through it.
I'm not a fan of the texting, and it's like, you know, it's the value thing is huge, especially like in everything, but especially in dating, because it's like, you know, if they value something so strongly and their whole like belief system is built around that, they might not even see what you value. Like it might not like it might not even register. Like what's the thing you value? I hope I ain't gonna get you in trouble, but like what's the thing you value most, you know, in relationships, man? Like what's the
well, I'm definitely, I mean, I'm a physical, like I like that physical connection. Like the sex is definitely important. And if I don't, you know, without it, I feel like there's something wrong, right? I feel like there's something off, there's something. So that for me is a big thing. And I mean, you know, and I feel like as men, we definitely shouldn't be ashamed of, not to say that every man has that same opinion, but I'm just saying whoever we are, what we like, you know, I feel like that's not a bad thing. Like, it's like, you know, there's nothing wrong with sex. It's a normal thing as long as it's consensual, right? I mean, I don't encourage anybody doing anything that they, you know, anything they shouldn't be doing.
Self-cancel, bro.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, I got to walk on thin ice out here, but, but yeah, no, that's like, for me, relationship wise, that's a huge thing. And I know, like, you know, for my girl, it's definitely the communication. It's feeling like, you know, we have that verbal, that, you know, spending time together kind of thing, and like all that. So it is two different kind of things. And, you know, and I'm sure it sounds like with you when you're dating and stuff, you know, finding those two different, what that person values, what you value. But the biggest thing, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, is like, you don't mean to offend that person. You don't mean to cross any lines. You're just being you. And, you know, and like, that's the thing that I think, I don't think it's just women that jump the gun, because I know that there's just, let's be honest, there's dudes out here that are really,
simping.
they're abusive, they're simping. I mean, all this kind of stuff that just they need their, they need some psychology. They need to figure out who they are before they're I think we all do to an extent. So again, to be fair, I'm not trying to take myself out of the responsibility or the accountability of the human race, but I mean, so nobody's perfect, everyone's got their issues, but it's like it's people are so quick, to jump the gun or what their fuses are. Everyone's got their own fuses, right? Their short fuses, what sets them off, right? And I'm sure when you're dating and stuff, you're kind of walking on some landmines here and there that you didn't know were landmines. You didn't expect them to be landmines. You didn't mean to.
You're bringing up something really important. I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to chime in while I got the thought. Like, I think, Tony, like what it is just like, because I do a lot of reading, and one of the books I've read is called Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. Really great book. Highly recommend it. And what he talks about in the book, man, is like innately, like we're all egotistical. Like we're all like, me type people. Like we're going to do what's in our own self-interest first before we do what's in somebody else's self-interest. So like in a relationship, oftentimes, man, the simplest solution is just putting your ego to the side and, putting yourself in that person's shoes. Because like I've had a lot of situations where, a girl really thought, because of the actions that I was taking, that, shit was fucked up, that I was out here doing dirt, or I just didn't care about it, whatever the case was, right?
Right.
And basically, it took for me to just put my ego to the side, not lash out at her or make her feel like stupid, or I could have did all those things, but it was more so like, all right, let me put me to the side and completely focus on what's most valuable to this human, because everybody's got their own programming and conditioning, and it takes for us to get outside of ourselves and really think in the other person's shoes to really, I think, get that effective understanding, because that's really what it all boils down to. Like, you get communication, you get understanding. Like it's nothing you can't do, right? The whole conversation up to now was understanding, like, what works for you and your nutrition, how your body works, right? The power's in the understanding, and it works in relationships too. You just gotta remove the ego first.
With everything. And that's it's everything too, with like, even right now with not to have like a political conversation or anything, but just it seems like right now with the division of people and how much, it seems like we've all gotten heated in this country with each other, and like everyone's on that like everyone's on such a tight like line of like, whether it's whatever it is, what I'm saying? It seems like we all, because I think it's what's come to a head, it seems to me, just from my like viewing, is that people were so living in their own like worlds and stuff, that when having to face with something that's different, or different opinion, or a different state of mind, it just like, it caused like a blow up, like so I'll bring this up and just kind of how my perspective was when it happened, and like how I understand the controversy of how people take it. So like when the Black Lives Matter movement started coming up, right? Like 2014, 2015, something like that. Yeah.
I'm black. Okay. I don't know.
No, but I'm just going back in time. But yeah, and I'm not saying that because you're black, you have to be the person that's in this conversation with me, but I'm just kind of going off the top of the head.
Spokesperson for this conversation. By default.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
They're gonna put they're gonna be like, Cory didn't. What is Cory? I'll put you.
He rep us like he was supposed to.
So like I remember when that phrase and all that first started happening, for me, like I had the stereotypical, what seemed to be the stereotypical white people response was, but what about me, right? And I knew I understood it from when I grew up. It seemed like what the vibe was, trying to teach kids that race doesn't exist, right? So you're all the same thing. And the idea was, I think, good intention, right? It's like if we raise a generation to think that race doesn't exist, then they're not going to have racist kids, and like eventually racism will die, kind of thing. I think that was like the intent behind it, right? But the problem was, when we grew up, the world didn't change, right? So there was still a racist world.
Right.
So, you know, people like myself, I had awareness about things. I wasn't stupid. I've seen, you know, a lot of things where, you know, my mom had a black boyfriend, and I had to go through a lot of stuff with, you know, him being pulled over by police randomly all the time. And so I knew stuff. I knew of that. But at the same time, I felt like our generation was like, we're different, right? We're the better upgraded version of stuff. So we don't got to worry about that. So when that all first happened, it felt like all that was out the window. It was it just felt, it kind of shook me a little bit, but I realized that it's not, I came to understand it in a sense that black people have to acknowledge race because you almost don't have a choice in the matter, right? So it's a luxury to be able to not acknowledge it. And so it's not that you want there to be the label of a black person or a black woman or a black man. It's that label is there. And so until it's not there, you kind of have to, it's kind of like raising that awareness. And that like I became aware of, and I realized, you know, I had that realization. So that to me was like just a big moment of my own ego, and like, you know, having to kind of check that myself. Cause it was just, and there's certain things, like I said, that I still have, I have my beliefs on in terms of the political climate. Like, I'm not a cancel culture fan. Like if you see me on Facebook, I'm pretty like open about, you know, I'm a big free speech person regardless. And, so I'm big on that, just because I feel like if you can't do that, then the people that are the most oppressed, they're the ones who actually are going to be negatively impacted. Not the people that you maybe are trying to censor. And I think that's happened throughout history.
Yeah.
So that's really where I'm at with it. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to navigate in this world with, if you don't check your ego, right? Because you're never going to see past this.
Yeah. I'll piggyback on that thought, man. I appreciate you sharing that, because I know that's not like, you know, that ain't the popular opinion, you know, or popular topic to talk about. I appreciate you keeping it real, man.
Yeah.
You know, two thoughts. One, the funny thing about, you know, this Black Lives Matter movement, and then you got the All Lives Matter movement, it was pretty crazy, because they're both saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it literally is the exact same thing. For all lives to matter, you do realize that means that Black lives matter.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
So that's ridiculous in itself. And then it's, you know, the Black Lives Matter thing, you know, I get it. You know, I've never been the person to, like, you know, chant that and say, you know, we need to, you know, black suppression needs. And I've never been that guy, because I don't feel like it does anything. I really feel like what's going to change, you know, the outlook of Black people in society is Black people making different decisions and actually putting themselves in a position of power. Like, how you know, how much leverage do you have in a government where, you know, Mr. Majority white? You know, how much leverage do you have in a society where most businesses, you know, big corporations who have all the money in the pool, the lobbyists, you know, who make the decisions of what the policies are going to be, are all mostly white? Like, how do you insert yourself into the conversation where we're talking about ego, you know, is the front runner, right? You can't, unless you actually have some power, you have some resources, and that comes from building yourself, building something, creating things. That's why I decided to be an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to have leverage. I want to have, you know, resources and power to give back to, you know, not just people that are like me, but to everybody. Because to me, like, it don't matter. Like, I date white women, Black women, looking for Asian one of these days, Hispanics. You know, I love all people. I didn't grow up with that like disdain or hatred for people who don't look like me. I don't get it. But I will say, like, it's a matter of, like, that movement stuff is kind of whack to me. The other thing, though, and I'll end on this because I got to get some Z's.
Some Z's, yeah, I hear you.
Z's, man. So, you were talking about like the political climate and what's going on and things like that, and like I'm on the other side. Like,
Yeah,
I don't see it, and I don't see it because I believe in life. Like you don't get the things that you want. Like you get what you focus on, right? So if you focus on the bad policies or what's going on in the news or like racial tension, you're going to start to see more of that, right? Your brain actually has a filter where, since there's so much happening around you, it only focuses on the things that is on the forefront of your mind. So let's say, for example, like, think about the car you drive, right?
Yeah.
Before you drove that car, you probably didn't even notice there was a lot of those cars around.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy
car,
thing.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere,
like,
yeah.
You feel like you see it everywhere. And guess what? It's not more of those cars. Like, that car is not following you now.
Yeah.
Your brain is just picking up on it and focusing on it now.
Yeah.
Because you actually, have one, right? It's on the forefront. And it's the same with like negative news, man. Like, if that's on the forefront, like your brain is going to pick up more of that. You ever notice the people who always posting about drama and things is going bad in their life? They always posting about drama and things going bad, right?
Yeah.
That's because if you focus on that, you're gonna find and see more of it. But if you're focusing on like, your goals, leveling up, becoming better, working on your body, working on your brain, all you're gonna see is more of that stuff and more opportunities for that. So I mean, really, COVID, man, was a blessing in disguise for me. It was a time where I was kind of put into just a cave here at my apartment, and I was given a gift, the greatest gift, and that was just time to focus.
Yeah.
In that time of focus, all I did was associate myself with people who were doing well, who were winning in the areas that I think are important, and me just focusing on how I can get better.
Yeah.
All this stuff was happening outdoors, but I'm isolated. So all my brain filtered in was the things that I was focused on at the time.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at, man. If I can tell the viewers anything of value today, it's like, you don't get what you want in life. You get what you focus on.
Yeah.
So focus on the things that are important to you, and your brain will start to filter out all the other bullshit. And you will find ways to make more of those things happen in your life.
Yeah, man. And that brings me to the perfect thing that I just want to end on. This is not a question, this is a statement. Man, ever since I met you, bro, like you've always had this crazy positive attitude, man. I mean, because I'm going to be honest with you, man. I have my moody days. I get the negativity. Like I'm always a battle between the negativity and the positivity. And I have to keep myself in check about the negativity because it's an easy default for me. But I remember those days, like working with you, man, like I would be, maybe angry or just in a bad mood about something, bro. My bad mood had no chance around you, bro. Like it had zero chance. It was like you were the worst enemy of my bad mood, bro. Like, and I know a lot of people, I'm sure you hear that kind of stuff a lot. And what you talked about COVID, like how everybody, and I was kind of freaking out about it and like all this, it's so hard to fight those negative thoughts, especially in something like that. And you just like basically turned it into a positive right away. I mean, that's amazing, bro. And I'm like, just talking to you, it just makes me feel better about life. It's just like, so thank you for being that person. I mean, I'm sure you're allowed to have your bad days, so I'm sure you have them, right? I mean, everybody does.
Yeah, man,
but
I appreciate it, bro.
You're an amazing, like you're an amazing role model, like very inspiring. I'm glad that I knew that you'd be here, man. I knew that you would, and you're gonna keep going. And like I saw that in you way back then. Like I was like, man, this dude is. I mean, you can't beat that energy, right? You just there's nothing you can do. It's undefeatable. So man, I appreciate that. And thank you again for being on this podcast. I thought you honestly were the perfect guest to start off this new journey, this new podcast. I got the arm flexing for Armstrong, you know what I'm saying? So,
I like it, man.
But yeah, so tell the people, man, because you deserve the praise, you deserve the business, and anybody who works with you is going to see nothing but successful. Let the people know where they can find you, where they can get your information, how they can get in contact with you, right here.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate the kind words and the acknowledgement, brother. You can find me on Instagram at Cory, that's Cory Armstrong Fit. So Cory Armstrong FIT. And you can also find me on Facebook, Cory Armstrong. I got a Facebook business page, Cory Armstrong Fitness. My YouTube is Cory Armstrong Fitness, but I'm on a hiatus from there. I'm gonna be making my comeback soon. So it's Cory Armstrong Fit on Instagram, Cory Armstrong on Facebook. You'll find me.
Absolutely, man. Hey, thanks again. I'm gonna let you catch these Z's. Man, we'll have to do it again sometime, man. It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much again.
How can I find this, man? How can I promote this?
It's gonna be uploaded on YouTube, on my YouTube page. I'll link you when it's there, and I'm probably gonna message you about just to make sure I have the links right, because I'm gonna put the links in the description, all that kind of stuff. I want to make sure everybody who comes on here gets all the love, all the anything that they need for their plugs and stuff. I mean, you guys deserve that. So again, thank you so much. And
obviously send people to it so they can check it out, man. So you can get some love too.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. Well, you have a good night, man. Again, thank you, man.
All right, salute, man.
Peace.
Came back on you instead. Karma. We ain't partners and we damn sure ain't friends. Raising hell till that's where you descend. You a damsel distress, and I ain't Captain Save a Hole neither. It's the first the rent due. Pay is gon' leave her. Any questions? Save it for the teacher. Only thing that you should ask is what's to pay me for a feature. Baby, sign your t-shirt. You should do your research. Been standing on top so long my feet hurt. If we freestyle, I'll run off with your threads. I got a fever, I'm hot off of the head. Shots over your head, want my props in my crib. My beat so big you think Pac wasn't dead. Wanna harm me, then you'll need an army full of men. Don't think that I could take your Barbie, I can. Ropes of the bread, till my whole people fed. Then I skirt up in a Rari